If you're a business owner who wants to use YouTube to generate leads and sales for your business, but you don't have hours a day to spend recording and editing videos, then you are in luck because YouTube's made some major changes to its platform that essentially created an easy button that allows all of us non-content creator folks to compete with some of the biggest channels on earth. So let's talk about what they are and how you can profit from them. So first things first, my name is Jason Stapleton, and my clients are coaches, consultants, and everyday business owners who primarily market and sell online. And for the last 16 years, I've been creating videos for YouTube that have helped me generate over $20 million in sales. And I don't say that to brag, because if you think about it, that's a little over $1 million a year, which really isn't all that much money. But what it's allowed me to do is make a really great living helping people achieve the dream of owning a business that allows them to live a more meaningful and fulfilled life. And that's pretty cool. Now, before we dive into the changes YouTube's made, it's important to understand the difference between the way business owners need to treat YouTube and how content creators treat it. You see, content creators make most of their money from things like AdSense, which is YouTube ad revenue, brand deals, merchandising, or selling low ticket products, some stuff from anywhere from $7 to maybe $97. And to attract advertisers and brand partners, they need to show that they have a large audience that values their advice and opinion. So it pays to create a lot of low level, beginner level content that appeals to the widest possible audience. Content creators are slaves to the algorithm. They live and die by metrics like views and retention time and subscriber growth. But as business owners, we're not looking to amass the biggest audience possible. What we want are people who have a specific and urgent problem that we know we can solve. And if you own, for example, an auto repair business in Sandusky, Ohio, you don't care if someone in Los Angeles or Austin, Texas watches your video because there's zero chance they're going to be bringing their car in for repairs. And likewise, if your company does something like high-end visual effects for Hollywood, you might post a video to your channel that generates millions of views, but none of those views matter unless the right person at the right production company sees what you've done and then picks up the phone to schedule an appointment. As a business owner, you should care about one thing: how many new leads, appointments, and sales did a video generate? Everything else is just a vanity metric. But the problem with YouTube, or at least for the last several years, is that it favored large creators with heavily edited content that took weeks to produce. And that scared off a lot of business owners who don't have the ability to be full-time content creators. But that's all changed. What hasn't changed is YouTube's goal. You see, YouTube cares about one thing: viewer satisfaction. But how they measure that satisfaction today is very different than the way they did it even a year ago. So let's take a minute and talk about how the YouTube algorithm actually works so that you have a clear understanding of where we've come from and why now is the best time in years for business owners to use YouTube to grow their business. So I drew this little graph to help you visualize how YouTube's changed over the last 16 years. When I got started in 2009, YouTube was still very new. Production quality was low because the cost of creating the kind of flashy videos that you see today was really high. And YouTube also didn't offer a lot of tools that we have today. The algorithm, if you want to call it that, was really crude and overly simplistic. There wasn't even an option to upload custom thumbnails. That feature wouldn't be added until 2012. Take a look at the first YouTube channel that I started about currency trading. These are the first videos that I posted over 15 years ago. And at that time, YouTube cared really about one thing: click-through rate, or CTR. But without the ability to upload custom thumbnails, the only way to generate clicks was through titles. So I created what I thought were these really catchy titles that would intrigue people to click on my video. But the really smart people at YouTube quickly realized that click-through rate was a poor indication of viewer satisfaction. I mean, think about it. How many times have you clicked on a video and watched for a few seconds only to realize that that's not what you were looking for? So YouTube pivoted to focus on something called total watch time. It favored much longer videos that were over 10 minutes in length and had really high viewer retention. But this created yet another problem. Shorter videos didn't amass the watch time necessary to get promoted, and that meant that there was a lot of really great content that wasn't getting the attention it was due. So YouTube adapted, and by 2015, the algorithm had become really sophisticated. It started measuring a combination of click-through rate, subscriber count, likes, shares, combined with average retention time that people watched to decide what videos to show and which ones to relegate to obscurity. Now that was great because it meant a lot more videos were being shown to the right people. But as the cost of video production came down, more and more creators realized that YouTube was a place where they could actually make a living creating content. And as more talented creators entered the space, you saw the production value of those videos skyrocket. Then in 2020, YouTube introduced Shorts to compete with TikTok, which added an entirely new level of complexity to creating content. And it was at this time, around 2018 to 2020, that most business owners just stopped focusing on YouTube and shifted to platforms like LinkedIn or Instagram, hoping that they could get some attention and maybe some new clients without having to become master video editors. But one of the great things about YouTube is that they never lost sight of their core mandate, viewer satisfaction. And by 2023, YouTube had become a cesspool of content creators producing heavily edited videos that were light on value and heavy on flashy transitions and graphics. Small creators and business owners found it impossible to compete against the Mr. Beasts of the world, but there were still tens of millions of people going on YouTube every day searching for solutions to niche problems. So YouTube adapted again. Today, YouTube uses AI and large language learning models to adapt to a person's individual viewing behavior instantly. It transcribes every video you upload within minutes. It knows exactly what's in that video and can show it to a viewer at the exact moment that they need it most. And that means it doesn't need subscribers or even viewer count to decide who to show your video to. YouTube also looks for associations between ideas. Like people who regularly watch videos about the economy or the Federal Reserve might also click on a video talking about the current state of the automobile market. The algorithm is so complex, its own creators aren't entirely sure how it makes decisions, but it is crazy good at finding people who are interested in your content, even if that pool of people is tiny. But perhaps most importantly, viewer tastes have changed. Fast-paced, retention-style editing has really fallen out of favor. Today, viewers prefer longer-form, casual videos where they can get to know the creator and they can learn without all those flashy titles and sound effects. Now, all of this is great for business owners because it means you don't have to hire a professional script writer or video editor. You just need to create content that your ideal prospect wants to watch, and then YouTube will do all of the work of finding that prospect and showing them your video. We've entered what I call a golden age of YouTube for business owners, a period we haven't seen since I started creating content back in 2009. Now, if you watched this far, I know that you're serious about using YouTube to grow your business, so I put together a special workshop to help you get off the ground. In the training, I'm going to share what I've learned over the past 16 years of creating YouTube videos. I've got some scripts and some templates in there to show you exactly what you need to say and how to say it, along with some best practices for creating things like titles and thumbnails that are going to help get the attention of your ideal prospect. And then finally, I'm going to give you some recommendations on what gear to buy and more importantly, what to avoid so that you can start creating epic videos even if you're on a tight budget. Now, the link's in the description, so go and check it out. And if you like this video, do me a favor. Will you just share it with one or two people that you think would get value from it? Thanks so much for watching. I am sure I will talk to you again soon.